The what?
Tom and Eric, those two guys.
Oh, Bowl and they played a little bit, but I mean that's as extensively as we've played both those two tonight. What I usually do is I'll give Steve a blow with one of them, and then rotate Steve back in and give Matt a blow, and then usually use the other one. So we're kind of flip-flopping. But I mean, we were just in some pretty dire foul trouble tonight, the worst we've ever been in. Oh, I've had a lot of great freshmen. He's right there with all of them, you know, I mean, with all the great ones that I've been fortunate enough to coach. He's got a big heart, and he doesn't mind taking a hit. He gets fouled a lot, and I think because he's so physical, they don't call it a lot, but he's very coachable. He's a great learner. He reminds me of Roni Turioff in that regard. I mean, he picks up on, we run a lot of different stuff and do a lot of different things, and he picks up on it as easy as Matt or Steve does. And I think that's a great quality for a player, especially when you're as talented as he is.
Coach, maybe the only disadvantage of having a number one seed in a tournament like this is having the double bye, but you guys kind of broke that up by having Cal State Bakersfield. Can you talk about the rust? Really, it didn't seem to be a factor, especially early on when you jumped out 8-0.
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, it's sometimes getting the game under your belt and getting the nerves out of the way can really help you. But we worked them pretty hard this week. We didn't lay off too much, and didn't get anybody hurt. So that's the other thing you don't want to do this week. And you know, we got a strange week coming on after this too. So I think it's really important that we keep growing and trying to get better. That's why we put Bakersfield into the schedule, because if you really look at how it all plays out till we play in the NCAA tournament, there's quite a lot of downtime. So, I mean, there are some things that we hope to get better. I thought the things we stressed, like those guys talked about, we did really emphasize throwing the ball into the post a lot and establishing our post because, you know, they did not play well down at Loyola last time, and they're a big factor in who we are. And then our half-court defense, we've spent a ton of time on that too, and I thought it looked really good tonight too.
Mark, your postseason is pretty much said you don't know where the receiver center. But from Loyola Marymount's perspective, they get to play beyond tonight. How important is that for the league's stature and its attempt to continue to grow itself?
Well, I mean, I don't know that I can speak for the league in that, but I know for the program it would be something. I talked to Max after we shook hands and just said I think it's really important. You know, they're playing very, very well right now, and I mean, for them to get into one of those other tournaments, I think would be huge. They'd get a bunch of experience and feel good about it. Maybe get up to 20 wins and build a ton of momentum for next year with the young group. And you know, kind of resonates within the media as far as preseason stuff the following year when you do that. I remember Oregon State rattled off a bunch of wins 2 years ago or something in the CBI or whatever those things are called, and then Tulsa did also. And I mean, you end up creating a lot of positive feelings, and there's no doubt it wouldn't help the league.
Have you stopped worrying about the outcome of, you know, what happens after you win these tournaments, or in a second as it pertains to where the NCAA sends you?
Yeah.
So much out of your control?
No, I mean, I learned a lesson as a young coach. I mean, I really, I mean, got too hung up in seeding that one year, Dick Gow's senior year, when we got sent to Albuquerque and altitude and all this and all that. And we just, you know, we have a saying in our program, control what you can control. You know, you can't control the other crowd, you can't control the officials, you can't just control how hard you're playing and how smart you're playing, and just we can control it. So we have no control over seeding if we just keep winning games. And this year, I mean, unless you're a 1 or a 2, you're going to have a battle on your hands, because, I mean, there are so many good teams out there. And when you start seeing some of those teams, they're talking about seeding at 12 and 13 and 14, You know, there's some darn good basketball teams out there.
Bud, did you have a question?
He's selling it short, but he was an absolute warrior tonight. It's one of the best performances I've ever had, or I've ever seen one of our players, perform. I mean, we thought he broke his elbow on the play in front of our bench, so he comes out then and he's right back ready to go in. Tells me he's ready to go in again. He goes back in again, and somehow both his fingernails, two of his fingernails, got peeled all the way back. That's why he was constantly bleeding that entire game. This is all on his shooting hand, mind you, his shooting elbow and his shooting hand. He steps up and makes a three after that, and he was just a warrior. I mean, he's a tough kid and a very coachable kid, and just a great ambassador for our program. But he was an absolute warrior tonight.
One final question for Mark.
Coach, you had a strong game from your bench. That scored like 52 or something bench points. How much of your ability to play well in the next game and also make a run at the tournament will hinge on consistency?
Well, our bench has helped us all year. I mean, I don't think people really realize how young we are. Everybody talks about this team being young, that team being young. I mean, we have like 10 new guys to our program this year. And I think because they see Matt running around there, they think we're old. But, I mean, we're throwing freshmen out there and first-year sophomores, and they were big. I thought Manny and Bull helped us a bunch tonight, and I thought we got great minutes out of Meach Goodson. He was solid. Even Will came in, and like he does, gives us a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there. So it's big, especially when you hit foul trouble like we did tonight.
Do you think that as play gets more physical in the tournament, things like that, you're going to be facing more foul trouble? And it's going to be more important?
It's just game to game. We've played plenty of physical games this year, some of the most physical I've ever seen. But just the way it turned out today.
Coach, thank you.
Yep.